Welcome to a Now Explain Rough Cut video. This video is part of our manual bookkeeping series. You can find related videos on our YouTube channel or search the internet for a Now Explain Rough Cut. So now, let's get explaining. Sales Invoice Daybook with detailed analysis, what it is and why we need this daybook. Related daybooks. Sales Credit Note Daybook and the Bank Receipts Daybook. They're related to the Sales Invoice Daybook. So similar and related terms used: customer, debtors, accounts receivable, which are interchangeable. Other terms will be receipts, money in, lodgements, electronic funds, transfer, payments. Manual bookkeeping. Pen and paper bookkeeping. We're going to use daybooks. These are the books of original entry, also known as first entry or prime entry daybooks. We are collecting information from the source documents. What is a daybook? A daybook is a list of your transactions, invoices, payments written down in sequence in a book. In days of old, this was done daily. Each day's sales were written into a book, so we get the term daybook. So this is a daybook that might be imagined by you, but here's what a modern daybook looks like. A big red book. Often these modern day books are referred to as big red books. Why big red book? Because some of these red books can be very big. Why are they big? Depending on how many columns you need. More columns, bigger book. Maybe this big. This book has 30 analysis columns. The columns will be very narrow in this book. So here we are inside an empty Sales Invoice Daybook. So here's an example of a Sales Invoice Daybook with sales analysis columns. Blue blocks, red blocks, yellow blocks. Let us see how this sales invoice is recorded in our Sales Invoice Daybook. In this version, we're going to analyze what type of blocks were sold. That is, blue, red and yellow blocks. Here is the sales invoice with the daybook entries side by side. You can see the information taken from the sales invoice. Here's our customer, the invoice number, the total amount of the invoice, and the items that were sold and where they're going to be analysed. So let's have a look at the sales analysis of the block sold. Here's where our sales invoice details are recorded. The net sales value has been analysed, broken down into the colour of blocks sold. So explanation of the sales invoice daybook columns. Date, the date of the sales invoice. Customer, the name of the customer who the items were sold to. Invoice number, the index number given to the invoice so that it can be tracked. Yes, all these items should be on the sales invoice. Explanation of the next three columns: total, VAT and net. Total, the total value of this invoice that the customer is due to pay including VAT. VAT, the amount of VAT contained in the total value of the sales invoice. Net, the value of the items before any VAT is charged. Yes, you should have this information on your sales invoice too. Totaling these columns. Each column that contains values must be totaled. Here at the bottom we can see the totals of the three columns. By totaling each column, this allows us to see what the total sales are for the day, month, week. In this example we are seeing the monthly sales values. This sales invoice daybook lists the 5 sales invoices for the month of January. Why can't we just have a total column? Because the total of the VAT column will be used in the calculation of your VAT return. The total of the net column is your sales turnover, how much you sold for the month of January. VAT and net are needed for you and your business. Here's the net and here's the VAT. The Sales Invoice Daybook allows us to analyse what we sold. In this case we analysed blue, red and yellow block sales. Analysis columns. We added more columns to allow us to analyse what we sold. In this example, blocks sold are analysed by colour. Blue blocks, red blocks, yellow blocks. Cross-check the recorded values. The analysis column values are all recorded excluding VAT. They are the analysis of the net amount of a sales invoice. The total of all the analysis columns must equal the net column. Cross-check the formula must be true. Blue blocks plus red blocks plus yellow blocks must equal the net. The total value column is made up of the net value, amount excluding VAT, plus the VAT amount calculated on the sales invoice. Cross-check formula must be true. VAT plus net equals the total. If the cross-check formula does not agree in either case, then there is an error in the values recorded, and that error must be found. Analysing multiple VAT rates. It is possible that items you sell may be sold at different VAT rates. If the VAT rates of 20%, 10% and 0% were all VAT rates, how do we analyse the VAT? Similar to analysing sales, we can also analyse VAT. How? We add more analysis columns. In the example that follows, we have added a new product, delivery charges, that has a VAT rate of 10%. We will add a new sales analysis column, delivery charges, and a new net at 10% VAT analysis column. So here are our net columns and our delivery columns. Net at 20%, net at 10%, and our new analysis column, delivery. And that's how you set up a sales invoice daybook, and why the sales invoice daybook is set up as shown using these columns: date, customer, invoice number, total, VAT, net, and the various sales analysis columns. More columns can be added to provide even more VAT analysis and sales analysis. For more information, go to nowexplained.com. Thank you for watching.